William to the last, what's up? Yeah. I been getting a lot of calls lately. All these niggas act they like they know me. Heard them boys wanna book.
Hi, welcome back to Third Opinion. My name is Shaz.
My name is Mr. Orsen.
My name is Laone. Welcome to another episode of Third Opinion. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming back.
Today we'll be touching on lockdown because COVID-19 happened and COVID-19 affected the entire world and a whole lot of countries, every single country.
How is lockdown in the country that you're in? I would say, because I'm in the United Kingdom, and well, the restrictions are not the same across the whole of the UK. So I'm in England, and here some of the restrictions have started, they've started relaxing some of the restrictions. So I'd say we're slowly ebbing out of it. I know schools have reopened, some businesses are reopening soon as well, which is great because I hope that means people will be able to go back to work. But I wouldn't say it's been terrible. I think the idea of it was far worse than I thought, but in the same respect, it wasn't easy, honestly. It's been a great drain on mental health for a lot of us. I couldn't focus on some of my schoolwork type of stuff, but I would say by and large, I'm glad that we're coming out of it. Hopefully COVID and the new normal are not terrible.
It has been, according to me personally, like an easy, relaxed lockdown because we could still go out and carry out other duties. We could go to the markets, we could go to the shops, we could go to the supermarkets. It's just that there was a curfew and other establishments were closed. Things like restaurants, we were allowed to go out and buy to take away, not to sit in. And also online platforms, like always, they were operating like they have always been. So our lockdown here was not a full-on lockdown. It was just some form of restrictions put on. And then public transport was operating. So there wasn't that much hold to our daily lives compared to other lockdowns. We could still do other things. It's just that we, as individuals, we decided, you know what? If you don't want to catch this, just stay home.
To be honest, now when this whole entire thing started, this was like a horror movie, right? That's exactly what I thought. What it's going to be, for lockdown, the streets are going to be so empty. And could have another scene where it's so quiet in the streets and how we hit up and Birian. So that's exactly what I thought was going to kind of be like. But then, can I say I was a bit disappointed? Because what happened though is, yes, we stayed indoors, but people were still allowed to go out. People were still allowed to go essential grocery shopping. People were allowed to, there are businesses that were open that needed to operate, your banks, your superstores, your hospitals, your clinics. And so the was hectic. And then, yes, there were a few glitches here and there, especially when it concerns people with small businesses and they depend on them for income. They earn daily, so they need to sell in order for them to be able to go buy seshabo for that day, And nobody was ready for COVID-19. Nobody was ready for the lockdown. Nobody ever thought that there would be a point where we're asked to stay home for an entire 2 months. People didn't plan to be sober for so long, but yeah. Either way, I think in this country, our lockdown wasn't that long, and our cases, thank God. So it wasn't really that bad.
I think the immediate lockdown in Botswana was very necessary, and it was a very good move because had they not thought about quarantining people and closing down the borders at that time, who knows, we might have had, a lot of cases. But at the same time, it was extreme to other people. Like, I have studied economics, and I think even a sensible person will understand that when somebody wins, somebody loses. When somebody implements something, someone suffers, someone benefits. So it was just a painful case because some people, had to suffer because of it. But at the same time, not that I'm judging or whatever. A lot of people had time to prepare as much as they could for this, because I remember I used to message people and tell them what to do, because Thailand was one of the first countries that were affected by Corona at one point. They were at the top of the list, but I remember giving people advice on what they need to do months before the cases were recorded, like in South Africa, because of course I knew at one point Corona will reach Africa.
I would say there are two things that I've gathered from, obviously from social media interaction and, talking to people back home. I think one thing is, I'll start with the bad thing. I think the first thing is I feel there hasn't been a lot of communication but there hasn't been adequate information from the government in some aspects. I think particularly for Botswana, who like me are away from home. But Lukola being like, how was there was a lot of confusion about what is and what isn't allowed, that sort of stuff. But I think one thing I really would like to commend about the lockdown in Botswana, because it started so early. Like, it started as soon as the first cases happened. And I think that really helped keep the numbers low. So for that one, top notch. Yeah, that's what I think. What do I think people should be doing during the lockdown? Hey, time to align your chakras, booze. Work on you. Learn a new skill, do that thing you've been meaning to do for many, many years and not doing, learn a new language type of stuff. It's time to invest in yourself. You have nothing else to do, honestly, and it's a great time to invest in yourself. That's what I'd say people should be doing.
I think it's a time where people needed to reflect, especially for someone who has been working for a very long time. It was a time for you to sit back, reflect, enjoy your time with your family. And also it was a time for other people to start realizing what they can do, nurture their skills, especially like I see people cooking. There are people who are drawing, there are people who are taking classes. I think this is a time where you needed to advance yourself somewhere in a skill or a trait that you have put in the at the back seat. Like, if you have always wanted to make clothes, this is the time. If you've wanted to write a book, this is the time to start. If you've always wanted to take a course, this is the time to do it. If you have always thought that you had no time for your family, this was the right time.
Sweetheart, honey, I had an entire list of the things I intended on doing during lockdown. But guess what? Not even a single one. I can't think of anything that I achieved from my list. Nothing. Like, I bummed. Okay, I think I actually achieved the exercises the first month. So the first month, I kept my schedule in there, exercised. I'm obsessed with my weight. So even the diets went well. But as we moved on, Sharon, nope. Things changed. I started waking up midday. I started sleeping at around 2 a.m. because I had promised myself that I wouldn't change my sleeping pattern. And gape ne ke boletse gore o bona ka go tswa mo lockdown botoka ke na le di-proposal nyana, but no, it did not happen. It did not. So I can't even say that things I expected people to have been doing during lockdown when Linda gets her experience about we're all dealing with something that we're not used to. We're all dealing with something that is so new in our lives. And but the hell are just sitting at home and having absolutely nothing to do, and you're also thinking you can't even plan ahead because you don't know when this is going to end, if it's ever going to end. And the restrictions, are we ever going to have our normal? So how do I plan around that? There's no way for you to plan around it. But yes, we've got the superheroes Arona, but managed to do a whole lot of things during lockdown. Yippee to them. But the hell is, all I can say is, guys, if you didn't manage anything, it's still fine. Just be grateful that you made it through and you're still living and you're still free from the virus, and the hell are happy and healthy. So I don't expect people to have done any miracles.
What do I think about relationships in this time? I have no comment at this time.
Intimate mujolos. Are they tested? If you are staying together, will you survive together? And if you are on this long distance, how will you survive? If you were talking to someone like me, hey, like I was talking to people, but when we went on lockdown, I was like, because I lose interest very quickly when I talk to people over the phone. Sometimes it's very nice to meet the person, and then later on, so I think relationships overall are tested. I don't have the patience to always be on the phone and keep up with we are talking, unless we are in a relationship, and which is always hard. Long distances, I said you joke, guys, long distances are a mess. If you want to be with me and I'm far, guys, no, I'm done with long distance relationships, unless you come here or I come there, but long distances, no. And then when it comes to friendships, I guess now you see the people that mattered in your life, people that checked up on you, people that made sure that you had something to eat, because some people are not working, we're not having a pay for all this month or two. So it is a point where you would see who are your true friends, who are people that cared about you, who are checking on your mental health, even yourself. Are you that good friend? You have a good relationship with people around you. Were you calling on people? Were you checking on people? Are you checking on people still? These are some of the things that, yeah.
You! Let's not even begin talking about me, because there were relationships that were a joke during lockdown. An entire joke. The ones that survived all of this, need to take vitamin C. I promise you. Because I think focus away from me. I think people got to learn the people they were in relationships with, and people started spending more time together. People got annoyed with each other. People forgave each other. People got intimate with each other. People got to see the other sober side of their partners, when that proper sober, and to those that survived. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it takes strength, Shem. It takes a whole lot of strength for you to be with the same person over and over and over every single day, and you can't leave the house and just staying with this person in the house. For you to take a breather, you have to walk outside to go for fresh air. And this is only for about 5-10 minutes. Yeah? So people got to learn their partners during lockdown. Yep. But brighter side, whew, the relationships that survived. Ra le lebogisa tota. We don't want to talk about mine. We do not want to talk about mine.
My self-care tip during this lockdown, you know, I think for me, basically, it was just doing what I love most, creating. I have been creating since I went on lockdown. And even today, I'm still creating. I'm making videos, like I'm on TikTok. I'm also taking pictures of myself. I'm reading and learning. So it is always keeping busy, but busy with things that I love, that I know that I will use later on in the future. So I was actually maintaining and building my, my portfolio, my presence online, which I think I'm still doing perfectly. So yeah, that's what kept me sane, man. Like doing what I loved, consistency. I could have gone insane because, but still.
Taking time off when you need the time. I think a lot of us suffered this pressure to be hyper productive. You need to deliver. You're working from home, you should have more time. Because I'm also doing me while I'm here. So that's been my self-care tip. Taking time off and just taking a break when I realized I was overwhelmed. Just walk away from it.
My lockdown self-care tip: stay sane, boo. Stay sane. Yeah, because everybody has an opinion of their own. Everybody has a theory of their own. Everybody knows everything. So they'll take your sanity away. And during lockdown, you've got so much time on your hands. You've got so much time to go onto social media, and everybody just has an opinion. So that would drive you crazy. So yeah, stay sane.
What do I think COVID-19 has taught us in Botswana? Hey, I think generally speaking, I think it's been a great opportunity to learn. It has exposed a lot of faults that we have, not just in Botswana but in other countries as well. Faults in the systems, for example, faults in manufacturing and in agricultural production, not being able to rely on ourselves when we had to lock down the country. It has made us realize a lot of faults in our healthcare system and how our healthcare system can respond to a pandemic. So I think it's been, for a lot of us, it should have been a time to learn and to reflect, not just for the government. So I think it's been a great learning experience. It's for us to now think about our politicians and hold them accountable. Like, why could Gwiling Banabasan type of questions? This is what we need to know.
Oh, there is a lot. There is definitely a lot that we should pick up from what has happened. If I'm to speak on the creative side, we need to understand how we can diversify our creativity. Where can people reach us? I see a lot of South Africans have taken their performances to online platforms. and it's necessary. And I think even in Botswana, people need to understand the power of the internet. Put out your content out there. I think I'm one person who always screams to people, put out content. It doesn't matter if you are on YouTube and you have one view. You don't know when people are going to take note of you, and then after realizing that okay, there is this so and so, but they go on YouTube, there is nothing. Take so like, is it solidify yourself? Yeah, your presence online matters as a creative. Make sure you work on your presence online. There are a lot of platforms that you can be in, so that you can cement yourself in that. And with that being said, guys, it's a wrap up of this episode.
I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to follow us on social media. That is Third Opinion BW on all platforms. That is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Lemotero, Remoting, Baswiri. Like, comment, share, tell your friends about us. Okay, tell your friends. Next time, I guess.
William to the last, what's up? Yeah. I been getting a lot of coast lately.